We know the world they change, but friends I have known are still unchanged. So now I will present my paper. I change something as my PowerPoint, the face. I give a title, distinction between cloud and mud, because I don't like the original, maybe may confuse. The original title is Navy Some Surplus Blows in the Cloud. So now I have 3 documents in this conference. One is about 30 pages, because I write it in begin the summer, end of the semester. I write it almost exhausted my energy. I write 30 pages. Then the organizer say that it's too long, so I should cut it. So I give another document that is remote, and it's a shortened paper that is about 8 pages. And then I have the cover paper, the abstracts, just printed in agenda here. Now I have the PDF, so I wish we can enjoy the last presentation. If you allowed me to read some pages. Now, underline there, I ask a question, is the cloud non-redundancy or mud? Then, that is the first page of my presentation. Okay, and then I would give us 5 cents. 5 cents to interpret what is the art critique. How is it different from curator? Not merely different from traditional knowledge about the artist and the artwork and the art world, but also we should install new thing, new elements in the orientation in the Oriental world. Okay, and the first thing is Eagle's Island is meant to others. I remember the AICA Korea, the president said that next year he will be the host and have a good topic. Okay, on the forum is about labyrinths, the maze. So he say something about if artist and his artwork is make math and labyrinths, then the critic should have the duty to show the way out. This metaphor is that the ego's island is always meant to the others, because we are living in a world of contemporary digital art. There usually appears the symptom of speleological anxiety as like prisoners tied up in a platonic cave, and otaku's cave. Otaku means the user always stand in front of the computer, hold it on, and play the game, searching information, and connect to people all over the world, then stay there one by one day till he exhausted everything, then dead. Otaku. Alan embraced the digital sea, so that is the first thing. And so we know nowadays we have through at least 3 revolutions. Industrial revolution, we beyond from traditional society of agriculture, then into the industrial culture life. And then we have information revolution in the digital world, now including cultural revolution in China. So in the field of the computer science, the bionic study, that is the new tendency of our work, has produced artificial neurons, neural networks, and so-called swarm intelligence. And that tendency to develop the swarm intelligence is symbiosis. That is something about the neo media arts, electronic arts, and websites, web arts, etc. So I think future vision in artistic creation or symbiotic way is that the art of human computers symbiosis has been actualized. For example, Taiwan, the female artist Lin Pei-chun, she did artwork, is installation art with new media, and his laboratory, and has lots of projects to invite people's young artists to join together to practice the projects. And he has this artworks, the Legend of Eva, that is concerning cloning of gene. That's 2011 exhibition in Taiwan. And as you see, he used the images to show digital Eva, what it looks like. And this, artists, I think, artists and curators and critics should not avoid this issue, firstly, of protogenesis and post-biological forms of life. Because as the scholars say that we are living in the post-human world. We are semi-human body with organs, bio-organs. And at the same time, we mix up some machine together. For example, we use the cell phone. We use sit in the computer to give out our organs and our sensation into the flange of the computer to another world, the virtual world. We are connected with any high technique instruments tightly. We can separate with them. That is the dignity of the post-human world. So we should reflection if the future image is a new digital Eva, the new super generation will be like that. That is Lin Pei-chun, I mentioned the artist, female artist. She adopts Eva clone to create post-human cloning. And last night, all of us enjoy the National Gallery in the Bratislava, here, the capital of Slovakia. Then I go back to the hotel. I see the TV, just showing the image, the news. The reporter say that this is a mouse with an ear, bioaesthetics, cloning the animal with gene. So I asked the question, do they mistake Stella Vars' artistic idea? We saw the mouse here, that is news. And then there is the question, in view of globalization, cloning of human race is completely a non-place in biotechnology. Not any local is allowed to implement formally. Not allowed because it destroys the whole system of human values. If we can colonize anything, the crisis, the disaster will will happen. So the artist and curator and special critic should give the award, the advantage to avoid this disaster. And we see another news here. I take a photo on the TV monitor. That is a young artist lived in China. He made a nose on the head, nose surgery. And that is Stella the artworks, famous. So I think that this copy is not the original, but makes some risk of just I say it, the crisis of the art world. Okay, that's the first sense. And sense two, I claim that no monad, nomadic life. In my view, I think we are all nomadic monads. If we interested in traditional philosophy, especially Western philosophy, Leibniz, he has a book, Monadology. He says the monad is the basic element of the universe, universal. And then even our mind and body consist of component substance with monads. So I say that is nomadic monads. Okay. And nomadic is from Gilles Deleuze's concept, we know. A nomadic life is learned with global action. For that, we can track back the concept monads in traditional sense, pure as possible as it was. But we can roaming in the world, not merely being in the world, as Martin Heidegger said that's Dasein in the world and the world designs. But roaming in the world, because nowadays people travel all over the world. It's monad's capacity of transparency in the established world unfold itself, especially artists. Artists, as a liberal individual, is always be, or basically should be, nomadic monads. So, when they try to apply some program of artists in residence or on the project of on the move, that is practical his value as a nomadic monad. The meaning of that is singular the materiality and diffusive interactivity. All of them are presenting in the net, the website, that is sense second. And I give the third sense, that is green, urban city. Everything human being met and passed by, they live some place, rim. So the title is "The Past Appears Merely in Rim." In my mind, I think the rims are at all places under surrounding and position of body, existence of any body, the presentative and presentational consciousness. So that is a phenomenological standpoint. And we also live not merely in the rim and with the people, also just like the George Simmel and Bauman say that we are strangeness in ourselves and in contact to each other. But we know we should be friendly, we should be nomadic city to multiple behavior. So in the art world, the strangeness is positive, not negative. That's to keep the difference between all of us. And I give the suggestion is dromology. It is studied of path in rings. We will see what it is. And I should say that because the globalization in the digital world, so there are several monsters appears in the reality. That is the digital Leviathan, Behemoth, and Zeus. That's, of course, some monster is a mythology or some a story from the Bible, the US. And now we can think about the whole earth is a digital Leviathan, catch us, and we feed it. We each day, whole day long, feed ourselves, the spirit, our energy in it. In the surface reason is we should connect to each to my friend, to people, but the actually is we can't live from it. That is a bad dignity. That is a bad that is a digital word to make us life more and more worse. Okay, I should say something, cut it. I know. Okay, nowadays the development of past study of time and space is rich. For example, the new media art like electronic, mnemonics, brain science, GPS, tracked photography, medicine, telematics, cybernetics, and syncretics, remote communication, and mass media. All of them are digital arts in the contemporary realm of the world. But we have a fear of that condition there's a high technique make us nervous, make we be sick. I call it agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is a fear of being outside and inside at the same frame of the screen or boundaries of the internet, causing the user want to avoid it. And we can have a complete term, cyber agoraphobia, day and night. Last year, we had the exhibition, Taipei Biennial, in Taipei Fine Art Museum. The curator gave the title, Modern Monsters, Death and Life of Fiction. That is, you can find the information in the website, so I don't show it. Okay, if we can now, we know we are nomadic monarchs. We live in the digital world, and we all day long through the urban, through the worldly city, to find the path in the rings. Then we will know there is a digital Leviathan, the huge monster, as a hegemony that is as like a black hole to look at us, big brother to catch us every time, whatever. So I say that if the current state of art is in high technical is the cloud computing, and the recent year very popular and top development in the art world. So the hegemony of mass media also have dressed up this new high technical clothes. It's even dressing up in clouds. The hegemony is also still makes trace at us. I cancel something. The clouds, as an abbreviation of the cloud computing, is an emerging model of distributed system of network, which is the current state of the art in technology, but quite different from the grid. Cloud computing means the ability to run a program on many connected computers at the same time. So the mass media use this high technique to have the force to control us with the vector, energy, money, and organization to let us, the artists, curators, dealers, and distributors in bad condition. Okay, I know the time is almost out, so I show the PowerPoint to us. We have this year, we have in Taiwan regional conference, AICA, Taiwan AICA, annual symposium, have the title, Surface and Interface Non-Bounds. Welcome all of our friends to join, to participate in our conference. Our president there. The final is surplus floats. Yeah, I have something there, but I wish we can find out the gray aesthetics. I don't read it again, and I should show this picture by intuition and strong image on this. Yesterday we visited the ancient historical sites, the old buildings. We all sit there to hear the report. The workers are working on the top. There are cloud computing. There's a cloud. And the ground, there's a terminal users that is on the mat. And in the center, that is a virtual world inside out. We can call it black holes. And you see the round circle. That is, we can see the Petra go out and go in. That is real world outside in. That's a white place. And rings are everywhere. So it is a global agora. And we are in the corner. Now here, nowhere, wormhole. So I will show not black and white in the Oriental because the Professor Lin said a lot about it, so I can't say it. But it's the point, key point, I think that in the test. And the first thing I say, Taiwan is not Taiwan, therefore it is Taiwan. That's according to this logic, the dialectic. And the final is that people say, I link, therefore I am. And I say, I forsake, therefore I am. That's after sense. If we can recognize it, we are almost relinger. Relinger, it means to leave behind, to abandon, to forsake. Then we will be a true curator and true critic. Link and over forsake, that is a problem. And to link us to swap up and forsake slips out. We should find the right path. It is a last word sentence. Is that not to stray off the right path while looking up the cloudy sky. Yeah. So I finished my report. I'm very happy to be enjoying here. So thank you.
Some questions. Thanks, Tsai Raylin for his presentation. Are there any questions, please? Yeah, Mr. Elkins.
Hi, thank you. So I have a question. I have a question about the place of theory in what you're saying. So you have many different theorists that you use, and many others that you could have mentioned, like I think of Patricia Clough and Jane Bennett, Donna Haraway, lots and lots of people who theorize the dispersion of the identity of identity in the cloud, many ways of theorizing the post-human, many ways of theorizing the cyborg. All of these different theories have to do with the disruption of identity in the object. But the theorists, people like you, take control of the entire theory. So what I would like to know is it possible to take your theory and distribute it, let
Please
some of it go? Right. I'm going to need someone to translate that.
If possible.
This, I want to draw a distinction to the difference between the many, many theories of distributed, post-human, post-cyborg existence in Patricia Clough and Jane Bennett and many, many other people, Zygmunt and Byman, all the ones you mentioned. There's a contrast between that and the people who do the theorizing, like you're theorizing, which is very unitary and speaks with one voice and includes the entire theory. This is an interesting contrast. I don't see theorists who themselves distribute their theory and relinquish and divide their theory.
Thank you. So should I answer your question? You mean that...
If you'd like.
I think cyber is a very top concept of the human being without organ. Cyber is praised in the cinema, in the film, the movie, and game, in the virtual world. But in the real world, I think we will not meet anyone be cyber except Oran. Except Oran allowed me to interpret. He is the try to find a real cyborg in the world, maybe. Okay.
One more question.
In your focus on the cloud and new media, have you also taken into consideration the revolutionary impact, both conceptually and in the wider world in terms of production, distribution, the sites of production, white spaces, the impact of 3D printing, which in terms of the kind of scenario which the pulp fiction writer Philip Dick wrote in his short story 1959, Pay the Printer, he has a vision which is so prescient, which I think has relevance both to the art world, but also, and it's already recognized, to manufacturing, the drugs industry, absolutely everything, and an impact on the hegemony of economic sites of production. Sorry, it's rather a lot there, but it is a field which the art world isn't quite addressing, this new technology. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I know. So I wish I can keep talking with you after the conference.
Okay, so thank you very much for...